Tell them people.
Good morning to Out of the Darkness with Daniel Dark. Feature today is a great man. He's what I call the Gentle Warrior. Looking at the two of us sitting here, which one do you think's had a stroke? In reality, we both have. And neither one of us can you tell it by looking at us. Aaron is the face of Stroke TV and Stroke of Genius TV. So because of what he's doing and the great works he's doing around the world, I want to introduce you to Aaron Avila. Aaron, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing really good, Daniel. I'm really honored to be in your show. Thank you.
I'm honored to have you. You are the one that actually prompted me into doing this show, whether you knew it or not. You're my inspiration on being able to do this show. Each one of us has walked through darknesses, and I know that you walked through a big one when you had your stroke. And I've been there too. And I want to find out the things that you went through in your journey to becoming the great Aaron Avila that we know today. Because you are, in my opinion, a great man.
Well, I really appreciate that, Daniel. I am who I am. You call your show Out of the Darkness. Honestly, I don't know. You've been there. And stroke is probably the darkest thing I've ever been through in my life, bro. Ever been through. I woke up. I was self-employed for 12 years. And then I don't remember because I lost consciousness. But I got up to take my shower to do my normal thing. But I guess a brain aneurysm ruptured in my brain. And then 2 weeks later, I had a massive stroke. But I woke up from being normal, go about my day to day, to going through the darkness, waking up half paralyzed, unable to speak. I was mute when I had my stroke. And scared to death with all these machines going off in the hospital. It was terrible. It was the most scariest, darkest thing I've ever been through in my life.
I understand because, when I had mine, my wife was driving the car and she thought that I'd fallen asleep and I'd actually had a stroke instead. So, just falling out and everything, that is, what a lot of people don't realize is how easy it is to have a stroke, and it doesn't care how old you are because you're still a young man. It didn't care that you're a young man and still vital and doing all that stuff. That was the thing that happened that brought about a great change in you. What was that change that it made in your life?
Well, you know what? I picture it this way, Daniel. I'm a spiritual man. And I believe now, look back, retrospect, in the last 12 years of my life, that stroke and brain aneurysm were the tools that God chose to use that changed my life. And you're talking about a change that occurred right at the beginning. A good friend of ours, Jeffrey Hazelwood. I remember laying in bed, half paralyzed, unable to speak well. And I would contemplate how I was going to get my half paralyzed carcass into my wheelchair, up the ramp, into my closet where I kept my 40 Smith & Wesson. Now, because I felt my life was over.
Mm-hmm.
And then I turned on the television, turned on YouTube, and there was a guy named Jeff Hazelwood. And he began to tell me that attitude makes it will shape the future of your life. If you have the right attitude and you learn to be relentless and you learn to be authentic. And I said, not once during his presentation did he ever say this does not apply to stroke survivors. So I remember going, sitting in bed and going, a little light bulb went on. And I said, that's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be a successful stroke survivor. And here I am today, Daniel. Honestly, this stroke, yeah, it's terrible. I wish on nobody. And the hardest thing I've ever went through in my life. But it, like I said earlier, was a tool God chose to use. I feel like I'm on my destiny. And I'm sure you may feel the same way that you are in your destiny. And it was stroke that brought us together. You know what I mean?
Well, it's you probably feel the exact same way that I do, Aaron. When I had mine, it would have been just as easy for me to have died at that time. But God was not through with me yet. He knew that there's something else that was waiting for me that I had not seen, not even thought about me doing. And the same way with you. Would you have ever thought that you would be hosting, TV shows and stuff like that, and being asked worldwide to be on podcast and video cast and TV shows and everything else that you do today?
You know, that's a really funny comment, Daniel, because I heard about when it first started this movement, Stroke TV media movement. I didn't know what Facebook. I heard of Facebook, but I really didn't know what it was. And the last thing I knew about was live streaming and all that. I'm 6 years. I've come a long way, bro, where I've been. So Stroke is really responsible for steering my life the way it was. And so I never thought I never, ever, ever thought I'd be doing what I do. But I'll tell you what, Daniel, through this hard time, through this dark time, I have found my destiny, honestly, bro.
Yeah, yeah. And that's just like me. I do lectures and different things like that with other things that I was never involved in. Like you well know, I'm an author also. And being an author is the funniest thing to me ever, because I failed English 101 3 times in college.
God.
Failed it. We're not talking about, D minus. We're talking about,
Oh, yeah.
zero. Just I finally took it a fourth time and got out with a C minus and hit the door because I had to have it for my degree. And and now I'm a award-winning author and stuff like that. I never would have expected that. You've made some epiphanies in your life that you knew that you needed to do something. You knew you wanted to do something, and you found Stroke TV. That was your first foundation. And then you've gone on to make the Stroke of Genius, which is a stroke of genius. You have some people on there that are way smarter than I am, and you get them on there and talk to them about all sorts of things and how they help the world and how you're helping the world.
You know, let me say, I want to pause a minute and tell you I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud of you doing what you're doing. You also are making a difference. We're not meant to be the same. You were Daniel, you were your individual, and you're learning to be authentic. And I'm proud of what you're doing. I appreciate the podcast and the Stroke of Genius podcast. I do two. I do one called the Stroke of Genius podcast, Survivor Experience, every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Stroke TV Media YouTube channel. And then I do that you're probably more familiar with, which is the Stroke of Genius podcast executive experience. And that's where I interviewed like those really top thought leaders of the world today. So I'm grateful for it.
Well, you've had some, good friends of ours on there. I think that you had Trisha Ben on there, which is, a board member, an executive, the head of the, Hero Club. She's got so many accolades behind her name that it is not even funny. And people like that we've become associated with, and they introduced us together. And we
Yeah,
wouldn't have known each other otherwise.
What has really been great about C-Suite Network, Jeffrey Hazel's C-Suite Network, is that you and I are friends with Jeffrey Hazelot. You and I are friends with Trish Ben. You and I are friends with Rich Ron Sugar. I mean, you and I are amongst some of the most forward thought leaders of the world today. And I'm as honored as you to be part of it. So, my life has changed completely out of the darkness, I told you, out of the darkness and into the light, bro.
Yeah. And that's what we're here about. That's the reason my show was invented. Yours is to help stroke survivors and help people like that. Mine are to help the rest of the world. Those people that don't think that they're good enough to be on a show, or to take their artwork or their acting ability or their music or the things that, or start a business, all those things that we can do and engage with the world that a lot of people don't think they're good enough to do. And that's what Out of the Darkness is all about, because each one of us has those dark times in our lives. You had a stroke that put you into suicidal mode, and that that's one of those type of things that, when was the last time you ever thought about committing suicide, since you met Jeffrey? You haven't.
Never. My
Because
life has changed. And I cannot. Sometimes I look back at where I'm going, and what I'm doing, and the people I'm influencing, and it is such out of the darkness into the light. And watching my life is like watching a show unwind. It seems unreal, bro.
well, it is totally unreal, because most people that had a stroke the way that you did, they figure their life is totally over with, and they have no more usefulness in this world. And until they meet somebody like you that can show them a difference, that is, what it's like, that is going to be what makes you so unique when it comes to the stroke world, or to the mental damage world, or anything like that. You're going to be taking this to other medical conditions, I know, and you will be the inspiration. Because did I not see a video of you recently actually walking?
I walk on I hold under rail.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I can't go, but I do walk on using a rail, handrail, and walk, and I do that. But yeah, I have dreams. The reason we're that is because I dream of riding a horse someday, bro. I do. I dream. Our dreams a lot bigger than that. I mean, a lot bigger than that.
Yeah.
So I dream. I'm able to dream again.
And, you had the epiphany to start Stroke TV and start Stroke of Genius. And what is the next epiphany that you're going to go through? And what will that do to your life at that point in time?
Well, you know what's strange? Great question. You know what's amazing? I received a call yesterday from what's called Stroke uh, Foundation or Stroke. I don't remember. It's a big stroke company. It's a big stroke organization, not an
Mm-hmm.
American stroke. But they're out of United Kingdom, bro, and they're calling me and asking me wanting to work with Stroke TV Media, and that's humbling. I'm feeling bad because I can't pass the corporate name, but I'm proving I'm a stroke survivor because I have a memory deficit. But it's amazing to see where I'm going. So where is the next step? What I feel. So again, I feel leading that I vision Stroke TV Media to be the hub, a content hub of many different channels. Stroke TV Media will be the hub umbrella, kind of like the Netflix of the stroke community. So any survivor of brain injury or stroke or brain injury will be able to go to Stroke TV Media and watch something encouraging.
Sounds great. Sounds great. And who, what platform are you going to set that up on? Are you going to set it up on C-Suite Network, or are you going to set it up on? Because I know they got
Well,
the
I'm trying to
C-Suite
get
TV
see.
network.
I'm trying to get. I just realized this morning, Rich Bontrager sent me an invite to a show. He streams live on the network, and I don't know what it is. So I need to get a hold of people at C-Suite because I think with their help, because I've got C-Suite Network. Stroke TV Media has also been picked up by Wonderful Living Television, and that is a live streaming platform in the East Coast. And I'm very honored to be doing that. So I want to get Stroke TV Media out there so more people can access it. I envision millions of people, not thousands, millions. Dude, there's over 80 million just stroke survivors in this world. I want them to feel to have a place to go to feel okay, that their life is valuable.
Well, that is something that you really, need as somebody that, if you touch one person and increase their life value, that's a great thing. If you touch 100 people, that is, more than can be blessed. And but you're going to be touching millions of people,
I hope so.
and
Yeah.
that'll be a total movement at that time for you. Uh, and I've got a couple more questions for you, Aaron. You're talking about being a stroke survivor in memory. It's the reason I use this thing. I write things down so I know what I'm asking you.
Yeah, I do that.
Where you've talked a little bit about where your plans are going in this journey, but where do you see your plans on financially going with this? Are you looking at making it a 401c3 or 50 501c3, or
Well, I'm gonna be doing Star TV Media will be a for-profit corporation. I'm no longer gonna be part of the nonprofit sector. I
okay.
want to be able to I make enough money, and I again pick up big dreams. I'm not gonna tell you amounts, but I will say I have big dreams, and I want to be able to make enough money. I can help people, and
Mm-hmm.
I want to help people. That are their need, and there are so many stroke survivors in need, and maybe someday I'll do a non-profit foundation version of what I'm doing now, which I started out being non-profit, but I get tired of asking for money and nobody helping. And so I said, well, okay, well, I'll make a for-profit corporation. I haven't monetized what I'm doing yet, but it's getting close. Well, I'll be able to monetize it. And I'll just make the money I need to make. And and I help stroke survivors with it. That's what I plan on doing. So yes, monetizing is essential.
Well, I didn't know whether you're going to monetize it and keep a nonprofit so that you could actually sponsor your nonprofit or not,
Uh,
where that would be, a situation where you've got the profit that you're taking in, but you're giving it away to different places, different people that need it. And, you know, but you've got to show where that money went to. So, if you give it
it's
to,
funny you should mention. It's funny you should mention that, Daniel, because in my mind, years ago, I envisioned Stroke TV Media being a profit corporation and it donating profits to Stroke TV Foundation. And maybe that will happen. You said it before. I told you that it was my vision, but I think as you know, you start out doing something, and your path changes. You started out with what you did. Now you're in a trolley, and you're now doing a podcast. You things change, and it's a journey. We're on this a journey, and I could see Stir TV Media Profit Corporation donating to Stir TV Foundation and keeping that going because I didn't want to have to ask for money. I want to be able to make the money and donate it to the foundation. So we'll see what happens, bro. We'll see what happens. See where it goes. Don't know.
that sounds wonderful, Aaron. And if somebody wants to help Aaron Avila out with his massive, you know, expenditures and stuff like that he's having to go through, how can we help you and where can we get in touch with you to do that?
Well, I definitely could use some financial help because I need some new equipment. My computer almost took a crap on me yesterday, and everything I do is on the computer. I need new computer. I need new microphones. I need so to to make a long story short. Um, oh God, I got
Uh,
there.
yeah, hear the dog in the background. I'm like,
Yeah, I die here. No big deal. We're a real show, bro. It don't matter.
yeah,
We're not in the studio, obviously. But if you want to help Stowe TV Media fulfill its passion, fulfill its dream, email me at aaronavila.stroketv@gmail.com. And then I'll give you, I need to set up a bank account for the new corporation, close up the old foundation. I've got so please, if you're in a place you can help me get finances going to get the foundation of what I'm doing done, bank accounts, equipment needs, please email me. Let me know.
Okay. And give them that email one more time, Aaron.
I'll do my best, bro, because I don't speak very well. But it's AARONAVILA .stroketv@gmail.com.
Thank you, brother. And for all of you out there, you've had a chance to learn about Aaron Avila and all his great works that he's doing with the stroke community. And also the fact that he is a stroke survivor himself. And it's not a put on or anything like that. This is him every day. He's got a heart of gold. He's not doing this to be wealthy himself. He's doing this to help other people be wealthy. And your idea and my idea of wealth is not the type of people that he's, talking about being wealthy. Wealthy to one of the men that he was helping was having food on the table and a blanket to cover with. And that, that was wealth to that man. And Aaron's actually helped sponsor that man and get him some help in that way. Those type of things are what we need to be looking at, is what is in somebody. Look inside yourself, find out where you're at in your life, and know that you are the light, and you can come out of the darkness and into that light and become a beacon to this world that you have no idea about how strong that beacon can be until you give yourself a chance. This is Daniel Dark with Aaron Avila saying, be yourself and be that light for the world.
Thank you, Daniel.
We will be talking again next week, and hopefully you will find your light so that you can come in and let me know what that new light is about with you. Send me messages here, and I'll answer any messages that I get. And that way you can change the world. You just have to start with one foot in front of the other. This is Daniel Dark saying good night.